Okie dokie guys, welcome back. We're right gonna get started with the second part, which is the partner work with myself, Amanda. It was a whole hour of Amanda pretty much teaching her choreography to Antojito by Mickey. It is split up in two parts because you had a little bit of a small technical difficulty, but again, it should be available on Facebook and they are available. This is about the first hour that Amanda already did. Just kind of just give me a message, tag us in something, and I'll get right to you. But again, all available for free. We just ask that you just up top, Cash App, Venmo, or the PayPal, and you're more than welcome to join. Doesn't matter your age, experience, or background. These classes are free to join. We're doing this special workshop with Amanda pretty much once a month, and you'll be seeing a lot more from her. As you notice, the location is different. I'm actually at Amanda's house, so from here we're going to be recording more classes, and you're going to see Amanda share a bit more of her methods and just how we just kind of mess around and do different things here and there. So the song's going to be in the background, the same song that Amanda choreographed her styling to. Pretty much what we're going to start off with, we're going to start with an open frame here. And just to kind of get warmed up, we're going to start with the basic. 1, 3, 4, 5, 8. From here, I open up my hands into what coffee mug frame. From here, I'm going to go into a forward step. 1, rocking back and back together. So what I usually like to call this is a forward rock back step. Forward rock back step, forward back step. That's what I usually like to do. From here, I'm going to do this again. Forward rock back step, forward back step. From here, I'm going to go again into the forward rock back step, forward back step. But from here, I'm going to open my hands up here and kind of start do fast steps. Ba 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 boom. We're going to get up to there for now. So as I do this, for example, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 3, 4, 1, 5, and 4, ba 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 boom. So we're gonna do that 3 times. So it's like again like a good way to kind of just start breaking out of that basic step. But we are gonna start it with the basic. So let's do that one more time with the whole basic. 1, 3, go, and 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 3, 4, 1 more time, and 1 last step. Ba 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 ba. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna show it to you guys from this angle, and then from the angle of Amanda. Start with a basic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here I go, and forward rock back step, forward rock back step, forward rock back step. Last time. Here we go. Forward rock, open up, ba 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 ba, boom. Right, and then from here, real quick. 5, 6, base, 3, 4, base. Forward rock back step, forward rock back step, forward rock back step, ba 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 boom. So to kind of break that down really slow, what I'm doing here is like my partner's giving me appropriate feedback. Right? Like this, right? You always want to try to keep some sort of in between given. I like to say often you want to be like bamboo, you bend but you don't break. You're also not just using your arms, but you're also trying to forward rock, right? It's like the back, the forward rock. Boom, boom, ba. Boom, 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 right? So here, as a follower, you're supposed to give nice feedback through the elbows and through the wrists as well. So your wrists are going to be, you have this position leaders. You can also use the angle of the wrist, which is fine. Just understand that here you're going to a slightly different angle with the body. Now, the reason I use a coffee mug in a hand position because it really gives you a really direct, like feedback into something. So here's like my hand literally becomes a wall. That's your hand. Going forward, rock, right, slightly, and back step, bring to me. If I do a position. 1, 2, 3, 4. You find what works most comfortable to you, but the main thing with the forward rock back step is going to be this. It's pretty much what it is within my lane, and I take a slight swivel. 1, 2, then I take a back step and bring my weight together here. As I do, I bring hers as well. So showing it from her angle, it'll be rocking, pass it back, back. With the other leg, same idea. Rocking, pass it back, boom. So you're gonna be doing something there because you're gonna be going into the partner space, you're setting to the center, and then actually passing back towards you. Forward, back step. Pretty much within 2 to 3 steps width of traveling. You can obviously go more, as if I were to do, let's say, from this angle here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So I really do emphasize the last back step. The forward rock is just merely that. Bum, 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 bum. So combining how you're swiveling here with your torso, with your hips, and where you're setting that up, and then switching, that switch action is going to be key. Now, as you're finishing up that third one, 1, 2, 3, 4. What I like to do is have this hand slightly higher and kind of slightly nudging her toe. Is within this lane here, right? It's not too much this way, not too much that way. It's right in between. Hand like this, which is like, you know, open palm. Start leading her over here, so she curl onto the hand. So will I? So then from here, this one be slightly nudging her here and slightly raising up. I can even create tension here. Steps starting with my right foot, right, left, together. And those are the fast 6 steps. If I were to switch the other way, bum, 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 bum. Going back here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Important thing, as you finish this step here, 1, 2, 3, 4, make sure your weight is on the correct foot, meaning my weight is on the left, hers is on her right. From there, then, right? So for the position itself doesn't mean I have to go, it just means it's setting up for something. From here, then as I initiate, bump, 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 right? So going with my arms, so if I were to do just the arms, it'd be like this, right? And she may go into her basic step or just go into a lean. If I were to go just the steps, I may get away from her. So it's part of it connecting the invisible thread between each other's torso, having a connection here in the arms, and leading with intention. You can either look towards your partner or look in the same direction. Like here, like a slight gaze, and ba, here, and ba, 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 boom. So let's try to do some music. I'm gonna check on the tenor. Anything you would like to?
Only a small thing to add. When you do this fast step, you're going to want to stand on your feet, because if you try to do it not on the balls of your feet, it's going to be really difficult to do as fast as you need it to be. So if we were to do a regular basic step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the fast step, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. We have to stay within that time. We have to stay with the 1, 2, 3, 4, but I counted 1 and 2 and 3, 4 because I'm doing 1 and 2 and 3, 4.
So here, try to do it to some music here. 5, 6, 7, bass. 1, 2. One more basic. 1, 2, 3, 4. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, and 1, 2, 3, 4. One last time, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba ba ba. Boom. See, so let's get the music caddy with that step. We'll check real quick here with the volume. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with the basic. 1, 3, 4. Here I go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. And 1, 2, 3, 4. One last time. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 ba. Boom. See, and then you notice here how I can switch hand positions. Or you can use any position that is viable to you, as long as it's again comfortable for your partner, and that way you're not being aggressive with your approach, but you're being clear and confident in where you're put in the position. Now, as you finish here into the fast step, let's see, back up a bit. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can be either right here or neutral. So let's do this last time. I'm gonna show it to you live. 6, 7, 8. 4, ba 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 ba. So from here, I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna turn the volume down a little bit. Okay, cool. Yeah. So from here, right? Once I'm here, since I already have this hand, what I'm gonna do to kind of make it more interesting, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna start controlling from this kaifang position or from this hook position. Either way, I'm gonna start transferring to the side of her hand, meaning this part here, like the underside blade. Boom. It's like I'm trying to carry this blade here. Boom. So I go from here. Again, all my weight should be on my right foot now, which is towards you guys, and hers is gonna be on her left. My left leg is gonna be in action, right? It's gonna be flexed and ready here, but it's not gonna enter from here as I go into 1, 4. I'm gonna bring her in 5, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's try that one more time. So we're gonna go from pretty much a lot of steps and movement into a more close contact embrace. So let's say I go from this fast step here. All I have to do is this is kind of be like the lifting, right? So from here, it kind of controls how much space I'm taking up and how fast. So even if I go 1 and 2, right? She knows this is the space limit compared to if I were to go 1, 2, now she's already going to start stepping to that way. So you got to make sure you control this by keeping this even, this bridge in between both of you. So as I go 1 and 2, push now to both wrists. This hand is right above her wrist, catching the underside blade and slightly wrapping on top. From here, as I start wrapping her up here this way, I'm gonna this one's gonna start funneling under and catching. You notice here how I catch perpendicular. From here, my torso becomes part of a backboard, my hip as well, right? And I'm in a slight shadow position here, right? So here, if she can slightly nudge towards me, that should be like the position here. So here, I should be nice and strong, but also able to move and be comfortable. From here, I'm gonna show it from this angle here, quick. From here, this position, this hand is gonna switch to here, into a little swivel joint, right? Why? Because then from here, I'm gonna roll her across her own shoulder using my right underside arm, the one under her own arm, the one at I'm gonna cross, I'm gonna bring around together. And so the lady shouldn't be worrying too much about what I'm doing. She should just do her own natural steps. She shouldn't be overthinking it. Just go, I'm going forward, I'm going across, I'm bringing in and together. So she shouldn't be step, step, step together. Yeah, exactly that. What that means is like the leader step is gonna be slightly different than the power step. I'm gonna be going this step, across, out, together. Power is doing a turn, so just be turning, and together. So to break power step, it'll be walking across. Each step you're taking is going to be slightly rotating. This one passes behind you, setting it, boom, right? So again, if you want to do a quick review of the basic steps, you can watch the other basic review videos, especially some new partner ones coming up. But at this point, this should be routine for you guys to get into the partner work. 1, 3, 4. That's common mistake here. In the first part of what we just did like a minute ago, I had my arm here, right? Restraining mainly the legs, but once you kind of start, it starts restricting the follower's body. You want to make or like a necklace around. It's nice and simple, and she has leeway to move around across the map of the dance floor here. And so in my arm, what it does, I can either stop her short here, right? Or I can catch her further out. But that is determined a lot by what I use at the waist. If I do a slight little nudge here at the waist and she gives me this hand, boom, she may or may not go, right? And it depends a lot on like how I'm also using my torso to guide her step. And boom, and ba. And last but not, Followers, please let your hands rotate. Please embrace the hand movement here. If you end up dancing like this or just kind of making a hook just to make a hook, it's not gonna be comfortable for you or your partner. You gotta let your arms swivel around. And same for you leaders as well. Sometimes, especially if you have are used to kind of doing this with your hands, leaders, you're gonna end up restricting your partner's hands. What you want to do instead is make a shape. The shape itself is more important than the strength of the hand grip itself. So the shaping itself, right? If you have the correct shape, the shape it does the work by itself. Compared to you could be, trying to hold onto a pinky with your whole hand and the pinky doesn't fit too well. It's just gonna slide out because it's just like that, right? So the whole thing is just about the shape. I can hold on her pinky with my pinky, and that's gonna be more strong than me using my whole hand because I have a better shape around it. And if I have a better shape, it contours better to the friction that I need from that person or individual. So let's say you went here, right? Fast step. This is providing a bracing action right here. So here, Amanda, go ahead and push against it a little bit. Push against it a little bit this way here, right? So over here, right? So I should always be able to kind of slightly be flexible within this area, but not letting it all the way. And she shouldn't be putting her whole body weight into it. When you're putting weight onto this, leaders and followers, especially followers too, don't put on your weight to it. Sometimes when I say provide some feedback, they go like this. That's not feedback. Feedback is just this. The extension of where your core is. If you're going into this is now you're throwing your weight, shifting your weight. So we're not doing weight shifting here, we're just providing feedback through this. As I go 1, 2, let's cross my foot. From here, 4. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky here, right? Because I'm going from here, just the right hand. Right, switch. You can think of it like you're making windmills. 1, 2, and right. If you do this double one, you have to make sure you get there on time. One last time. 1, 2, ba. The fast version would be like this. Let's see here. 1, 2, boom. Right? And so here, as a forward, how do you tell if someone's doing a fast motion or slow motion? 3 simple concepts. Let your elbows always be slightly more heavy and slightly more relaxed than your wrist. What does that mean? Don't have your arms like this, right? This is putting too much force into your elbows. Let them relax out here. And by the same accord, let your collarbone be open, let your shoulder blades kind of relax and breathe, right? And that way, instead of being like this, you're more like this. Number 2, let your wrist swivel. You can be flexible through your wrists, like doing this. If you're kind of doing this, you're too stiff. So kind of you can practice either by doing this and letting your wrist swivel. And then last but not least here, as you have a leader approach you through the wrist here, always provide feedback. So if I'm here, you're always providing some extra feedback this way. Not too much, but just enough where you feel the person there. Compared to me hover handing, right? At the same time, I don't want to go like this. It's enough here where I'm able to rest and always I'm able to give a little rocking through it. So as I'm going into this, 1, 2, 4, she's active and engaged through that movement instead of just being passive or being overly trying to be dominant in that position when it's a position that needs to be shared. It's not about who's submissive or dominant in that position. It's about sharing that. Here, as I go here, stays at the waist side underneath the elbow across my face and starts finding its way past her shoulder. So I don't really focus so much on drawing a circle as much as just focus on getting this. Once past this shoulder here, right besides the ear, then I start catch. I'm gonna try to put this angle first. I'm gonna go switch 2, 3, 4. Right? The inverse of that. If I'm here, right, I finish here. My elbows relax, her elbows relax. She's letting her weight relax on mine, and my hand is here, slightly open. I can be here as well, right? And this kind of gives her a better wrist extension. If I'm doing this, it kind of bends her arm back. But as long as my hand is like this, again, she should be nice and gentle here. From here, it's gonna be to kind of keep it flat. You want to start really swiveling and switching to the fingers. See, and here I'm above her trap, above her shoulder blade, and I'm resting on this, right? I'm not putting my weight on this. That's not what resting is, right? I'm just giving her, I'm resting. And from here, then I'm able to go on to the next set of moves. Okay? Let's check real quick. You guys have questions? Okay, we're doing pretty good. Alright. So we're gonna try this with some music now. 5, 6, 1, 2, 4. Let's go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 ba. Ba ba ba. Ba ba. Right? So that's gonna be like the motion that you end up doing here. From here, I haven't decided yet. But pretty much I think what I want to do is here. I want to go into another 1, 2, 3, 4, and from here I'm going to start using part of my upper body to create emotion. So here now this is where we're going into like central fusion territory. As I go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna break this down in 2 moves. Even for Amanda here, it's a little bit difficult to kind of follow this. And we're gonna separate it. So from here, as I go into the back movement here, I gotta make sure I'm providing contact mainly through the chest. So as I go here, you should be able to engage that. So I'm not pushing so much towards her. I'm trying to direct this shoulder blade here and my forearm here slightly. Right, so here she needs to be able to relax her forearm. So from here I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's gonna be an easier timing for her, because that way she's not gonna be overly distracted with the first up. And this is possible as well. 1, but the follower needs to be able to differentiate enough the isolation from the torso isolation, and this is a more complex. So we're just gonna stick to this. We're gonna go 1. So here, you notice I start passing my weight here, and as I do this, I rock through my foot, so that way I provide extension through my chest. As I go 1, 2, right? Again, this is just doing the lift is distracting. So here I'm just gonna keep it here. Focus your body. 3. Exactly here. Reset that one more time. Do it. Just walk back here. Boom. Ba. Ba. Right? So my right foot is heavy, my left leg is in action. Again, we're both having it underneath our hips, right? Underneath our center. From here, I just have this relaxed. I'm focusing more on my upper body and the flexion through the wrist, the arm. 1 and 2, right? It's like that body roll that Amanda taught in her choreography. And 1, 2, and 3, 4. So here, as a follower, 2 quick tips as a follower. As you feel the lift, right? You just lift, right? You don't have to worry about where you're gonna place it. Don't worry about placing. Sometimes followers will be like, I'm gonna lift, the arms going up, it's gonna go over my head. No, it literally just means lift. That's literally all it means. Because from here I can do this. See? So here you don't want to start bending the arm. You don't want to do that. You want to just, as I start lifting, 1, 2, 3. Exactly. Just let the leader handle that position there. So that's a mistake where central dancers sometimes get stuck at, because they're just figuring shapes out. It's like that's part of it, but the shape is just a general diagram of where your body position is in relation to your leader's. You have a leader who's obviously taller. You're probably going to be more here, and as soon as they do this, right, it's going to feel quicker, right? So when you can't really anticipate that speed of that movement, you have to rely on the feedback you're giving and the patience through the arm. So if I'm like a taller leader on this 1, 2, 3, 4, it'll feel more abrupt, right? Compared to someone who's a little bit shorter, you see here, and then going 1, 2, take longer, right? So here, your feedback will approaching that in the simplest manner. A raise is a raise. That's it. It's not a rotation. It's not this. If you feel your arm being rotated as lifted, that's different. But don't anticipate the direction or the length or the speed of it until you're at that bridge. Okay? 5, 6. Actually, let's just do this right here. 1, 2, 3. Switching here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 ba. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4. Right? So once you attention to it, right? It's like a play with speed, it's a play with footwork, it's a play with patience in this whole position. All this is control. I'm gonna do this one more time. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And here I go. 1, 2. One more time. And 3, 4. 1, 2. Ba, ba, ba. 4. And I switch. And I go. And I go. Boom. Exactly. So then from here, thank you. Anything.
Just when your leader does do that movement where you're in that position where he breathes in and we do almost like a little bit of body roll. It's almost a little bit shocking because you're trying to like move your feet at the same time, so don't even worry about doing this at the same time. I mean, yes, you want to do it at the same time, but if you do the chest and then do your feet will catch it. So whether you do it at the same time or you do 1, 2, 3, 4. It's gonna depend a lot on how your leader is, like Jason said too. If he's taller or shorter, how he's moving his feet. But okay. Wait, so we're here. We're here. So if Jason or if my leader does the pop, I think what Jason was doing, you're doing 1, 2, and. So Jason was doing a little bit of a syncopated, so my legs weren't exactly matching up with him, but we both ended at the same time. So it works either way, so don't worry too much about your feet if that happens. So if you feel that lift, you want to breathe in and expand your chest. You want to really feel that movement because that's going to make the difference. You want to like just breathe it out. Breathe in and let it go. It's the kind of movement, well, every movement that usually you should be breathing, but this one you want to feel as you're going with it.
These moves is that it really breaks down the rest of your body into that design shapes, change the pace of movement and changes the route that your body takes into account. In the most basic part of bachata, most of it is focused on the feet, the hip swivel, and torso. Right? These are the main basic components of bachata in general, whether it's traditional style of dancing, more modern bachata, or a more central European bachata, right? And again, these are just style names. At the end of the day, movement, and it's like rooted in certain genres and cultures. So when we go into this body movement here, as I'm going, let's say I did the step forward, right? I go 1. Here, can you go on this side? Exactly, slightly ahead of me. So here you're gonna see a little bit of both. So here, pretend you start. So like I'm walking forward, so you're gonna start with your left. Yep. Yeah. So here, so I'm gonna go 1. No, you're gonna start like there you go. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. So from start 5, 6, and 7, 8. So that's the syncopation that Amanda mentioned. One more time from here. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Because this is just where my hand's gonna be, right? One is gonna be under her, and one is gonna be up here. From here, this one relaxes. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I sit down by the 2. So she's saying there's no time to sit, but you don't have to sit completely. Like I say to sit because we're doing like a switch, right? So it's not doing a full setting switch, and that's important because even her doing the bottom, she thinks there's a sit, but there's no sit. There's like it's just the intention of it as you're passing through it. And that's important. Why? Because you're going and go 1, 2, 3, right? So here, right, you gotta make sure you transfer that step. One more time. Walk, walk, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's a better way. 1, 2. See here? And 1. So I haven't even taken 2 steps. The count is 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and that's very important to distinguish, because we're used to, especially if you're not used to dancing a fusion style or a more dynamic technical style, you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you're gonna add extra steps, and you're gonna feel like how come it doesn't really sync up with the isolation. Right? So you're not gonna do a full sit where you're gonna go 3, 4 like this, right? But you do 1 and 2, 3 and 4, right? So you are gonna be using the knee bend, so that's very important in that move. All right, going into the next session. So I finished up pretty much with my partner here. I brought her hand. Let's say let's just do it from the top. 5, 6, 7, basics, and 1. Mientras nos besamos bailando bachata. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 3, 4. Here I go. And 1, 3, 4. Ba 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 ba. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. So here, you know what I did here? I forgot to do the arm thing, right? So once you get really caught up into that, then that's gonna be like what you lose out on. Again, same thing with the body roll. If you don't do the body roll because it's fast, that's okay, but you're gonna lose out on those movements. So you gotta commit either when you get to that point, am I committing to the body roll or am I committing to the travel? Okay? So 5, 6 time from the top. Here. 1, 3, 4. 1, 4. Ba 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 ba. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we ready. 1, 2, and 4. Boom. Right? So here, even for me, it's gonna be a while for me to get that roll. But from here, we're gonna do 2 things. From here, I'm gonna roll it out. 1, 2, 3. So one important thing to note, if you have a hand held, do not let go of it until the leader lets go of it. So if I have the arm here, boom, 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 you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Otherwise, if you drop this, the move's gonna become different. And it's not gonna mess up the move, but it moves the embellishment that I've worked to develop on this side. So if I do this position here, let's say I put this one under, and I end up here, right? Right? Now the embellishment is different, right? So I gotta make sure I do something else, right? So these are important because it may be an embellishment at first, but depending on what this is, let's say I do this again, I'm just doing like random shapes, right? Let's end up this way over here, and I go and I reach in, and when I get really fancy with certain things, I may end up doing this, boom, boom, right? So like it depends on like the level of the dancer you're with, the movement requested, and your anticipation of it. If you already are anticipating certain moves, just doing something that's probably okay, but you gotta understand if you get in the habit of dancing the same thing time and time again, is because you may or may not be anticipating certain movements and cutting your own movement short because you're not letting yourself approach that movement as it is. The position of the position be itself. So as I finish up over here, let's say I brought a fast step, boom, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. From here, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna bring her this. I'm gonna reverse her. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So this is gonna be really, really tricky, especially for power at first, because you're gonna feel like you're gonna hit your partner in the face, and you may or may not already. But there's 2 simple things to do when you get up to this point. Let's say I think it was this one, right? Was it this one? Okay, yes. So here, there's another common thing. One way to really keep track is collar position line, right? There's one track. Next is rib cage, and then there's waist. The rib cage and waist are similar in distance, right? They're very close to each other, but they're very different. So another way you can keep track is shoulders, elbows, forearm, blade of the hand. These are very important positions in your dancing as you go on, and then obviously the in-between. But that's kind of how you can start mapping out the body for your partner and for yourself. Anyway, so once here, have this position here, and 1, 2. Make sure you pass this back. 3, and from here, this hand here is gonna start going to the inside position between both of us. But it's gonna go on the outside back of her shoulder from here. And then here, bum, bum, bum. No, I did not do that. No, that's okay. So again, the issue here is like we're ending up in a position that we weren't ending up at before. So let's just do it from the tippy top. So let's say go from this position. 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, we get into all the way back into the body roll. So from here, as I go into this position here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So here I'm stuck in this position where I'm here. Right. I like, what am I gonna do here? So here, this is where it gets tough. So say we go to the shoulder again one more time. I brought this back. Say I go 6, 7, 8. So I gotta make sure I let go of my left one and keep my right, and that's where the intricacies of the movement become. So I'm gonna show it to you guys from this angle here, because it is a bit trickier. So once I finish the movement, let's say we're here, right? Sounds like this here. Far side hand, my left, caught with her hand. I'm gonna let go of this. Right, catch. From here, I'm gonna go in. Actually, you know what? I think from here, actually, I'm not gonna catch this hand. From here, I'm gonna start moving this blade like this way, so that way it gives her a slight tilt, right? A little slight tilt. As she does this, I gotta make sure that I'm able to go here. So she's gonna go pretty much from here to here, like that. So as I do that, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. So now the tricky part is how she's gonna tell is a turn, right? So the position's gonna go right into this. As I go back here, from here I'm gonna start passing to this part, really passing here. 1, 4. From here, that's how she's gonna know we're gonna go into a turn. From here, if I end up getting caught in this position here, I'm gonna go like this. So that's how we finish up, because it's going to be a position where there's going to be a lot of inside hooks and elbows. Any suggestions for that? Do a quick check on your guys' side. Okay, we have about like 10-15 minutes left, and we'll finish up the partner work. So this is our guest. Explain. Adorable to long boy. He likes to watch us dance. So this is a cat fan. She has like 4 different. You'll see them run around here, and especially if you tune in for the other classes that we'll be doing on Mondays and Wednesdays. Again, Mondays is beginner, Wednesdays is going to begin. But again, don't be alarmed. They're really taking care of the very small cats. But again, they're having a great time just watching us. 5, 7, 8, 6. Si es un crimen que te ame, pues yo soy culpable. Que me acusen de ladrón, borracho insoportable. Pobres envidiosos no duermen tranquilos. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Porque baby, slow it down. Estemos borrachos, nos comemos a besitos. 5, tú eres mi antojito. Bailemos esta bachata suave, pegadito. Y aquí estar soltera, date un trago con hilito. gonna be the end of that choreography right there. So it's nothing too crazy, but the difficulty is in really setting up those isolations, making sure you're taking your steps confidently, and really drawing those shapes and figures as you're doing that. So let's say let's do it one more time. 5, 6, 7, basic. 1, 2, I go and 1, 2, 3, 4. Again and forward rock back step, forward rock back step, forward fast step, ba 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 ba. With motion, bring and catch, swing and catch, walk and guide, body. 6, place 2, 3, and outside. Right? So the trickiest part I think is going to be the body roll for the leaders, even myself. And number 2, the trickiest part for the followers is going to end up becoming this part for the arm like this. So the trick to this is here. As I'm bringing this here, she's going to bring her elbow inside, and this part right here. Turns here as when I start press of her spine here, right? It's gonna end up getting caught in her face. Part of it is also the swivel. She's able to. So part of it is gonna be this neck roll, which is gonna be underneath here. And if you turn roll. Track on the back, right? As I would turn you from here. In general, I wouldn't turn someone from here just by doing this, right? That wouldn't work out. What I would have to do is clip around and then rotate the shoulder outside here. And again, the thing is, you don't want to anticipate. So here, just like small anticipation here, right? I just went to the side and she started going like this. You want to make sure to just, as I do this, that's literally all I'm doing. So this way and that way. For example, Amanda, go ahead and grab my shoulder here, right? Yeah, and just push or pull whichever way. Boom. Yeah, show it to the, so show it sideways here. Go ahead. And go on the trap and try to give me a solo. Right? Here, part of it, she's got to set up the trap area here, and then go over it. Boom. Bop. Go again. Shot it from the shoulder. Here. So part of it is like you don't really, people seem to use a blade, but it's not really a blade. The blade shape, but you want to make sure you're not using it to actually cut your partner's head off, right? Whatever you do at your house is your business, but what you want to do is this. You want to make sure you make the blade to start off, then you shape and then slightly swivel. Here. Because that way it gives the most important thing of the blade, which is not, a blade cuts, right? What you want to be is more like a slight spade here. As you get here, then you want to start pressing and giving that tilt, so that way you allow access for your partner. Now, if I were to make this into a turn, again, I just make the shape here, and then make this a push and pull motion, right? If I want to do a blade with a turn, I might go like this, right? I might make the blade here, right? I go here, boom, and then push her this way, right? Now to do the last part here, take a deep breath here, boom, we're gonna relax your shoulders, right? If you have really a lot of shoulder tension, you're gonna react super sensitively to any sort of push or pull or whatever. What you wanna do is open up, let the shoulders go over and set. From here, as I have, let's say I bring the elbow up again, and the setup right here. It's an awkward setup, right? What happens here is I'm here, underneath. As I go up here, so you can tuck up and in. If you feel like you're gonna hit your partner, just keep that arm down there. That's the simplest way form. And then from here, now the partner has to do two things. Get him. So part of this is like also as a starting to that's another thing for your partner. And what I really do here is make sure I really close her up with this shoulder here. One last time. As I go into this position here, I'm gonna go from outside. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, press, right? So if she ends up getting here, she's not gonna fall over and I have her switch to the side. This time, finishes up, and she brings her hand up here, her elbow. Let's say she has it up here like this, and then she's gonna start going down. 1, 2, 3, 4. From here, my forearm makes contact. 6, 7. So under scoop pretty much. I'm gonna go 5, 6, 7, 8. Under scoop here. Come up here and bring her in. 7, 8. From here, I make sure I tighten up here at the side of the thigh, part of the hip. Make sure I really kind of catch her and embrace her slightly more on my body. I'm not gonna go like this to her, but I want to be nice and firm. And same thing with her. She's gonna go slightly into here. As she feels my slight request to kind of give her feedback, I'm gonna just go like this. 1, 2, 3, switch. From here, I'm gonna take small steps and just gonna go ba 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 boom. So this is more choreographed, of course. One more time. From this angle here. Let's say about 1, 2, 3, 4. The main important thing is here. Step. Right. The easiest way to point is going to be your ankle downward. Right. Most of my weight is going to be on this foot here, and this foot can be slightly pronated towards your partner. So that way you're both sharing that geometry of the body. As you to bring myself to that position. Number 2. So then from here, same idea applies here. I kind of push off with the big toe on my front leg, my heavy leg, and start tiptoeing. Tippy toe, tippy toe, boom. And that's it. And from here, we pretty much finish up with what do I do here? Spin out. So then we spin out, bum, 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 bum. And I guess that's the end of the partner right there. So let me check one more time if you guys have any questions, comments on the threads. Alright. So finish up with like 7 minutes left. I'm gonna restart the song actually. Any last comments about the partner work you want to add?
A couple quick tips for the followers, especially when you do under that turn where you're down. We did it actually not in salsa. We did move very similar. You're gonna be messing with your center when you turn. You want to keep everything up straight, very tall. But since this move calls for you to bend down, you of course want to follow your leader, but you also want to make sure that you keep your balance. And I usually do that. If you keep your steps smaller, the easier it is for you. So, when we're in that move, we're all wrapped up. Just kind of go with it. When the leaders like have your arms all messed up, because sometimes it feels awkward. You don't want to do it, but when you do it, you do the actual movement. It's better than it feels.
So we're gonna do this from the back one time, and then we'll show it to you from the front. So you can pick any part of the song. 5, 6, but I usually try to find the beginning of a beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, basic. So I'll kind of show you where I kind of look for the song, what part of the song I look for. It's kind of, I guess you would call it chorus. And here I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fast, 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 fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I messed up on that part, right? But that's the kind of like what you're gonna start looking at and hearing is the music. One more time, basic. 1, 3, 4. One more time. By pretty much the chorus is going to be straight to with the music of the choreography. Otherwise, the beginning part. 1, 3, 4. Here. And 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Right, and you can do it 2 once or do it and then a half. Ba 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 ba. 2, 4. Switch around. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slow steps. 1, 2, fast step. Ba 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 ba. Base. One more time from this angle. Start from the reverse angle. Get back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, and in fast step. Ba 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 ba. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ba 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 ba. Last time from the back. Into the fast steps. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Right. 1, 2. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 3, 4, 5. 2, 7, 8. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3. Pretty much the partner for today. Again, please check out Amanda's choreography, split up into 2 parts because there was a small little technical disconnect. But again, completely free. Feel free to participate in our other videos. There's a bunch of videos already posted on YouTube, at least like a month's worth. But beginners and intermediate, and there's another previous also video that she recorded. Not as high quality as far as like the video itself, but again, the choreography itself is really fun, really challenging. And again, thank you guys for sharing, for watching, subscribing. Thanks for supporting up here. And again, feel free to message us with any questions, and we'll be doing classes every Monday and Wednesday. Last words for you.
Thank you guys. See you next week or Monday.
Sé que te mudaste de amor, conociste mi cama mojando el suelo. Y sé que desde aquel primer beso, quise que te olvidaras de ser.